Recording in progress.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, salam, welcome everybody to MACFEST 2026, to one of our youth panels. This one is focused around the environment on our planet. And our today's host, you probably remember her from previous years. It's the wonderful, the one and only Sohaila Latif, all the way from Philippines. We're saying hello from England, from the Philippines, from France. Say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're watching us from. And if you have any thoughts or any questions, also please put them in the chat or Q&A portal for us. We do want you involved in the conversation today, as it's an important one. Maybe you've got some solutions that we haven't thought about. So let me just very quickly introduce Sohaila. She's the founding director of the Moranau Cultural Heritage Center, and now she's the director of the University Information Office of the Mindanao State University. She's multi-talented in the field of communication, linguistics, language, and education. She's the multimedia practitioner and educator in the Department of Communication and Media Studies at the Mindanao State University in Marawi University. She's finished her Doctor of Philosophy at Mindanao State University and her Masters of Arts from Cardiff University in the UK, with a focus on the corpus linguistics of the Moranau language. Her talents include being a writer, poet, and a broadcaster. And she has a number of projects that I could probably not pronounce correctly, but I would love to know more about them, because the names don't tell me anything. I wouldn't know what it is about, but I can assume it has something to do with communications and connection with people. So welcome, Sohaila, over to you.
Thank you very much, Katarzina, for the wonderful introduction. Yes, thank you very much. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome once again to MACFEST 2026 for our youth panel. Definitely, this is one of the things that I always look forward to every time we have this youth panel and this session with our young Muslims all over the globe. And so we have here our um, tonight's chief guest, all right? And I'm not sure if she's already on our session right now, but she's trying to be in a few minutes. But I would like to introduce her to you already today. Our chief guest is Julia Durkan, the head of environmental sustainability of the University of Manchester. She is the head of environmental sustainability at the University of Manchester, leading a dedicated team on a mission to drive bold action to tackle the climate and nature crisis across the university's core goals and operations. The collective efforts of her team, the wider university, the community, and its students are driving real impact from the construction of a new solar farm to transforming a car park into an urban hub of biodiversity and everything in between. So Julia has this extensive experience of 18 years working across environmental sustainability, beginning her career in consultancy before transitioning to the higher education sector. She will be joining us in a few and giving her thoughts after the ideas shared by our students, our young, the youth, no, the youth panel from all over the world. And so our school students who will be sharing with us their thoughts will be introduced to us by their siblings or their moms and their fathers or any from their guardians and even teachers. But let me have or give you an how do you call this an overview of who they are and where they are coming from. We have the first one, Hala. Hala Abdussalam Muhammad Hussain El Subaki is from Al Qasila High School for girls in Irbid, Jordan. Another one is Lina Zareen Alekhan from San Diego, USA. And we also have Hannah Mariam Razak from Glasgow Academy in Scotland. And we also have Labiba Rahman from England. And the last but not the least is Iklal Aktas Friedrich Schiller Gymnasium, Ludwigsburg, Germany. Wow. So wonderful that we have all our students all over the world right now. And hopefully, in the next few years, we will have more from the people from the South. And for now, before I will be asking their family members to introduce, I would like to respond to your question a while ago whether I have my background in communication. Well, yes, and I have been dealing with the youth all over Lanao in terms of my background on going for mobile libraries and also doing some listening post collectives with our young women and also our Kumusta ka Kalumbayan is how are you, our youth. Yeah, so that's the literal meaning of Kumusta ka Kalumbayan for the Listening Post Collective. So I've been doing a lot of activities with the youth. So nonetheless, with that, we would like you to introduce our youth from before they would be discussing the problems on environment and their uh, issues in pollution and all other related to environment in their own countries. So let me start first with Shada, the sister of Hala Abdul Salam Muhammad Hussain Al Shubaki, to introduce to us Hala. So maybe we can have Shada first to introduce Hala. Take it away, Shada.
Hi, assalamu alaikum, everyone. Okay, my name is Shada. I am Hala's sister. Hala is 14 years old and she is very smart, kind, and creative student. She loves learning new things and she's very interested in nature and environment. Hala enjoys participating in school activities and in such conferences because she likes sharing ideas and gaining new experience as well. I'm very proud of her. She's very confident and she's very hardworking. And I'm glad to support her today. The conference today is about nature in Jordan. Jordan has beautiful nature from mountain, forest, and from mountains, forests to the Dead Sea and Wadi Rum. Even though our country faces challenges like water shortage, climate change, young people can make a difference by protecting the environment and spreading awareness. I would like to thank you all for this wonderful opportunity to learn, participate, and express students themselves. That's all.
Thank you very much, Shada, for that wonderful sisterly introduction, but that's so generous. Thank you for that. Then we will have also from San Diego or La Jolla, San Diego, our very own Lila, who will introduce Lina Zareen Alejan. Take it away, Lila.
Um, Good morning. Well, good morning for us. Good afternoon. Good evening. There are a bunch of us from all over. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to be here today. Lena and I are both looking forward to learning a lot and going back with something meaningful. I have here Lena. She's 14 years old. She just wrapped up eighth grade and is a rising freshman or ninth grader at a high school, La Jolla High. That's what she will be starting. Lena is a very kind, driven young girl. She loves being here in La Jolla, San Diego, and involved in the local community. One of the things that keeps her busy, Lena is a competitive swimmer. She spends every day after school from 4:30 p.m. to 7. She's in the pool doing laps upon laps upon laps. And on weekends, she then competes. If she's not doing that, she also swims open water in the ocean, for the most part, raising awareness about marine life and its biodiversity, marine life, and conservation. Lena enjoys music, spending time with family, traveling, reading. One of her other big, uh, one of the things that she also likes to do is creative writing. Apart from that, Lena is also involved in volunteering with the Islamic Council of North America. They have projects especially for refugees here in San Diego. Lena does creative writing and mentoring camps during holidays with Islamic ICNA or Islamic Council of North America. And that's Lena for you.
MashaAllah. Thank you, Laila, for that wonderful introduction. MashaAllah, Lina, you're a creative writer as well. It's very interesting to have someone who is doing and making use of her
Phone.
artistic love for the environment and so on. So we'll talk into that later when we start our discussion. But let us first go to Hannah, no? Hannah Mariam Razak, who will be introduced to us by Shazia. So thank you once again, Laila, for that wonderful introduction. So now, Shazia.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum everyone. So I am Shazia. I am the mum of Hannah Miriam. This is Hannah here. Hannah is 15 years old. We are from Glasgow in Scotland, and Hannah attends the Glasgow Academy High School. She has just finished her 4th year and will be starting 5th year after the summer. She's very, very friendly, very kind. She loves art. She's very sociable. She likes interacting with people, getting involved in local initiatives. So at the moment, she is involved in the local community centre and the local mosque. She also does tutoring at the local Cumin Centre as well, and just likes having, as any teenage girl of this age, likes to have fun and get out and about. Loves family holidays. I think this year we're thinking of going to Bosnia, inshallah. So, yeah, likes get involved in whatever she can turn her hand to. And we'll be talking this morning about a particular issue, this afternoon for us, a particular issue that affects Scotland, particularly when it comes to environmental matters. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, because it is really interesting, Jaja, that we find time to share thoughts with our children when it comes to how the environment is affecting them as humans. So thank you for that, Shaja. And of course, Hannah, we will be getting back to you later on. And yes, we have so many very talented students here. And so we will have Labiba Rahman to be introduced to us by the dad, Sir Muhammad, as to tell us more about Labiba before she starts her discussion on the problems in your place right now.
Thank you very much. So yes, my name is Mohammed Rahman. I am the father to this little girl who's next to me, which is my daughter, Labiba Rahman. She is 13 years old. So we are from a small town called Roxdale, which is based in the Greater Manchester region in the UK. Labiba said is 13 years old. She's very wonderful with young people like herself. So we have our own grassroots community organization known as the Rochdale Science Initiative. We do lots of work within our community. Labiba loves volunteering with the projects that we do. There's a lot of work we're doing on climate change and sustainability. Labiba is getting very much involved in that. In her free time, she likes lots of creative stuff, painting, drawing. She likes making things and models. She also likes to read a lot. What I don't like about her not what reading is that when it comes to themes, she doesn't like to read fantasy books, but she likes to read lots of action, mystery, and themes on reality. That's kind of things that she likes to read. Yes, she's a bubbly and friendly and kind person, and we thank you all for this opportunity. And yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Muhammad Rahman. Yes, definitely. Our children who love their environment would definitely look at or read more about realistic, works because for them it's more meaningful and so young at that. Thank you. And we will be hearing more about Hannah Mariam, sorry, Labiba Rahman later. And so now we will have the last but not the least to be introduced by her teacher, uh, Angelica. We will listen. Yes, we will listen to Angelica to introduce Iklal Akhtar.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Angelica Hoff. I'm a teacher and a teacher training a trainer in Germany, in the south of Germany. So I'm very happy that my student Iklal Akhtas got a chance to participate in this webinar. She's a brilliant student. She majors in math, English, and art. So I think that's a very interesting combination. And she's also a very interesting person. In my class, she's not one of the most lively students, but whatever she says is really, really brilliant. Anytime she lifts her hand and says something, it's really extraordinary and very excellent. So that's why I'm very happy that she got a chance to participate in this webinar, and I'm looking forward to her presentation. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. All right, and that reminds me to inform everyone to share this link of our youth. We are actually live on Facebook right now on MacFest channel or the MacFest page. We would like you to share it to your friends and your colleagues as well as the youth, no, all over the world that you know, so that they can share and maybe they can give their points of view there on our live stream right now. All right, so we will be starting off again with our detection of programs or problems in our own environment. So, for instance, we will have first Hala from Jordan. She will be sharing to us a very short presentation about the problems that is faced by Jordan right now and what she has in her mind as the usual problems that they see in their country. And then afterwards, after we have shared our problems, then we will go back to each and every one of our youth panel, and then they will be discussing their own solutions that they see. But meanwhile, let us first detect the different problems in the environment that they see in their own country. So let's start with Hala Abdul Salam Muhammad Hussain Al Subaki to start the problem detection from Jordan. Take it away, Hala.
Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Hala and I'm from Jordan. I'm very happy to be part of MACFEST. One of the most serious environmental challenges in Jordan is water scarcity. Jordan is one of the most water scarce countries in the world, mainly because it has very limited fresh water resources and low annual rainfall compared to the population's needs. Many people in Jordan do not receive water on a daily basis. Instead, water is supplied on a weekly schedule in many areas, which requires households to store water and carefully manage their consumption. This shortage affects daily life, especially during the summer, making it harder for families to meet their basic needs and increasing pressure on available water resources. Another important environmental challenge in Jordan is energy. Jordan relies heavily on imported energy sources such as oil and gas to meet its daily needs, which makes the country dependent on external supplies and vulnerable to change in global prices and availability. This dependence affects the economy and increases the cost of energy, which is reflected in daily life through higher expenses for households and public service. As a result, becomes a major national challenge that impacts both development and living conditions in the country. Another major environmental challenge in Jordan is the increasing pressure on land and water resources due to dry climate conditions and recurring drought periods. These conditions led to reduced soil productivity, limited agriculture output, and increased stress on already scarce water resources. As a result, both agriculture and rural livelihoods are negatively affected, making it harder for communities to maintain stable and sustainable living conditions. Another environmental challenge in Jordan is desertification due to climate change, low rainfall, and rising temperatures. Large areas of land are becoming dry and less suitable for agriculture. This leads to reduced vegetation, loss of fertile soil, and negative effects on farming and food production. As a result, desertification threatens both the environment and the livelihoods of many communities in Jordan.
Hello, Hala. Do you still want
Yeah.
to continue all right. Okay, so those are the identified problems that you have in Jordan, right? So I noted around 4 or 5 of your problems that you have actually mentioned, and it's really problematic as of today. And so thank you very much for what you have shared as a problem. And later on, I want you to present later your solutions to this. So may I then request, no, our next panel member for sharing us. No, we would like you to share with us. Thank you once again, Hala, for that. And then let's now listen to Lina. Lina Zareen is going to present from La Jolla, San Diego, USA, where she wanted to share with us also what she sees as an environmental problem. Because if we have this problem on what do you call this, desertification in Jordan, I'm sure there's also another challenging effect to people in San Diego. So take it away, Lina.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lina Ali Khan. I'm 14 years old, and I'm here today because I care deeply about the future of our planet, especially the future of California and our oceans in specific. I am lucky and blessed to live in one of the most beautiful places in the world, California. From the beaches to the forests, from the Pacific Ocean to the deserts, California is filled with life, biodiversity, and natural beauty. But today, that beauty is under threat. In San Diego, scientists at the Scripps Institute of Oceanography have been studying climate change, ocean pollution, rising sea levels, and warming temperature for decades. The research shows us that the environmental crisis is not a distant problem, it is happening right now. The oceans are warming faster than ever before. Marine animals are losing their habitats. Coral reefs are bleaching. Plastic pollution fills our beaches and harms every sea life every day. Wildfires across California are becoming more destructive because of hotter temperatures and droughts. Air pollution affects human health, especially children and vulnerable communities. Scientists warn that if we continue ignoring these problems, future generations may inherit a planet that is far less healthy, far less safe, and far less beautiful than the one that we enjoy today. At my local beach, summer visitors at La Jolla Shores sometimes get too close to the sea lions and animals, disturbing their resting areas and natural behavior. People often leave trash behind or step on tide pools, which can harm fragile marine animals and plants. Some tourists ignore beach rules by feeding wildlife or chasing animals for photos. This creates stress for the marine life along the shore. California is also home to many natural parks. California's natural parks are being environmentally impacted by climate change, wildfires, pollution, and heavy tourism. Rising temperatures and long droughts are drying out forests and increasing the size and intensity of wildfires, which destroy habitats and threaten wildlife in parks like Yosemite and Sequoia National Park. Large number of visitors can also create problems such as littering, trail erosion, water pollution, and damage to the plant and marine ecosystem. Coastal parks and beaches, including areas like La Jolla Shores Beach, are affected by plastic waste and disturbance to sea life. Invasive species and pollutions are additional threats because they disrupt ecosystem and harm native plants and animals. Thank you.
Right. It's also very sad that we see all those. And yeah, I would like to agree with Lena that there is really that uh, California is really beautiful as a place, but we are faced with different environmental issues. So yeah, at your young age, I'm so thankful that you get to see that, and maybe you can inspire our other friends and relatives and also our families there in La Jolla. All right, so thank you once again for that, Lena. And let's hear this time the problems of Glasgow in Scotland. Hannah Mariam Razak can give us her own take of what is also problematic in Glasgow, because eventually we were able to hear the ocean pollution in San Diego, the warming oceans, the plastic pollution, and also the air pollution. Would this be the same with that of the Glasgow Academy representative Hannah Mariam Razak? Take it away.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Hannah Miriam and I'm from Scotland, and I'm going to talk about Scotland's biggest environmental issue, which is Scotland's peatscapes. So, what are peatscapes? Peatlands are wet, boggy areas that store huge amounts of carbon. They form over thousands of years when dead plants build up in a really wet ground. Because there's not much oxygen in the waterlogged soil, the plants can't fully break down, so they gradually create a thick layer called peat. Peatlands are really important because they act as natural carbon stores, helping to keep carbon out of the atmosphere. However, when they are damaged, they can release that stored carbon as a greenhouse gas, which contributes to climate change. Since Scotland has a large amount of peatland, protecting these areas is an important environmental challenge. Why are peatlands important? Peatlands store large amounts of carbon, which is a greenhouse gas. Without peatlands, the carbon would be released into the atmosphere as carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas, and would contribute to climate change. Peatlands provide habitats for wildlife, like specific plants and small animals. These certain species rely on peatscapes and couldn't survive in any other habitat. Peatlands help manage excess water as well by absorbing water like a sponge. This is incredibly useful for Scotland's regular rainfalls as peatlands help reduce flooding. the problem. So peatlands in Scotland have been getting damaged recently, mostly due to human activity over long periods of time. In some places, the land has been drained so it can be used for farming and grazing. However, this dries out the peat and damages it. Trees are also being planted on peatlands for forestry, but this can lower the water levels in the soil and harm the natural habitat. Peatland and soil are also being dug up to be used as fuel or in gardening compost, which removes the peat completely from the landscape. All of this causes the peatlands to dry out and doesn't allow them to store the carbon properly. This allows the carbon to be released into the atmosphere as a greenhouse gas. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Yes, thank you very much for that. That's really a what do you call this? Um, an inspiring thought of how Glasgow's peatlands would be a problem in the future. In fact, I myself was like thinking of what could we do because we don't have such peatlands, and the peatscapes here are not as evident as yours. Definitely because we are in Asia, but that problem, emission of carbon, is really something that is we really have to look into. No? So thank you very much for that, Hannah, or Hannah Mariam, because it is something that we should really be looking at, even if we all see the different pollutions in our communities. The peatlands, no, can definitely change the the situation of climate change. So let's have now a different kind of take from England. From Rochdale, we have Labiba Rahman. Maybe you would like to say something because I'm sure even if there are issues in peatlands and air pollution and in San Diego, we will see also if it is similar to what you have there in England. So let's have Labiba Rahman from England. Labiba?
So good afternoon. My name is Labiba Rahman. I live in a small town called Rochdale. I've been living here for 13 years now. Some people call it dull, maybe even miserable, but I think this place is a place for opportunity and potential. This all starts with something as simple as me deciding to take a walk to a children's park. A children's park, right? But that's just strange. If this is a children's park, why is it littered with vapes, plastic bags, wrappers? In short terms, plastic pollution. Plastic pollution isn't just about the planet, it's also about the people on it, their safety, their mental health, their opportunities. Children and teenagers aren't born with the nature and the mindset that tells them to neglect their surroundings. It's developed. Plastic pollution is often visible in places where people feel that no one cares. Littered fields, dumped rubbish, overflowing bins. The list is endless. Fly tipping and vandalism can also become a part of this problem too. A lack of respect for shared places. This is where mental health slides in. Living around waste affects how people feel about their community and even themselves. Careless littering and constant neglecting creates a perfect atmosphere for young people to feel unsafe, unheard, and anxious. It urges the question, why is the youth, our future engineers, doctors, successors, living in a polluted planet? When we allow plastic waste to take over our streets, we send a message saying our community doesn't matter. Plastic pollution is a massive problem where I live, but that doesn't mean it's the only one. I'm going to ask you to do something. Imagine. Imagine something you do around 20,000 times a day. You do it while sleeping, studying, thinking. You're doing it right now. You're breathing. We all need to breathe clean oxygen to survive. All of us. Right now, across Rochdale to the busy streets of Manchester and even the busiest streets in London. That simple act of survival is making us sick. Air pollution is one of the greatest environmental threats to our health. This isn't the worst part. The worst part is that it's completely invisible. Every day we look up to a dull British sky and blame it on the weather, but floating in the air are silent killers. toxic microscopic particles, which studies have shown that are 30 times smaller than a single strand of hair. To breathe clean air is a birthright, not a luxury. Our young people are currently taking in this air. Young people that are still developing, directly impacting their lungs, restricting their physical potential, and even climbing up their focus and mental well-being. If we continue to look away, we aren't just ignoring a climate crisis, we are actively compromising the health and the minds of a whole future generation. The choice is in our hands. Do we make a change, or do we continue to let the youth pay the price? Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Oh, that was so touching. It is interesting to say, and it's interesting to ask if we really want to change or we really want to pay the price. This is really very, what do you call this? You're very young, you're 14 years old, but you have that kind of mindset. And I'm sad for our young generation to see all these, right? Because one of the problems that we see years back is we didn't realize that we will be having bottled waters. Imagine in our youth, maybe your dad can also relate to this. When we were young, we never thought that everything will be put in bottles. And now, uh, I don't know if it will be in your generation that we will be buying oxygen in a bottle because of what is happening right now. So I hope it won't happen in our lifetime, though. Muhammad Rahman, because it's really kind of very sad. But our children can do something about this. So let's listen to the last problem issues that is seen in Germany by Iqlal. And then afterwards, we will go back to you, all of you, for your responses or to your solutions to what you see as problems. Because as youth today, you have to see also what kinds of solutions you can offer. So let's listen to Iqlal Akhtas from Germany. Take it away, Iqlal.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Ija Akhtash, and today I want to present the problems in Germany. I will focus on the two major problems, and that is groundwater and air pollution. Yes, as you can see in my presentation, 35 of the groundwater volumes are in bad condition. And the reason for that is mainly the use of nitrate as a fertilizer in agriculture, and this pollutes the water and makes it undrinkable. But also microplastics and other chemicals contribute to the problem. This is because our drain directly links to our ground or surface waters. So everything we dump down the drain ends up in our water. 74% of surface water is polluted. This is a very big problem because even though we could have access to clean groundwater, by ruining our resources, we have to rely on imports. Many of our water is imported from France, for example. Water is not just important for humans, but also for animals that die because of the polluted water. The other major problem is air pollution. Germany is a country of cars, and in especially larger cities, fine dust is a major problem. Fine dust damages the human body, and in long term, people get really sick of it. Fine dust is caused by fumes of cars, but also from heating with coal or oil. But also industrial machines and constant construction really have a big weight on our air quality. Thank you.
MashaAllah, and again, subhanallah, for all of those problems that you have mentioned. It's easy to uh, listen through how you see all of these, but it pains my heart that you have all of this to see and sacrifice at your very young age. When we were young, we didn't actually that. I mean, in your age, no? When we were at your age, maybe about my age at 14 or 15, I was never that conscious on how these things can really damage our environment. But what you are seeing today is really impressive because you have seen the problem. And as young as you are, you can make a difference. You need to change what you see right now. So, just like what you have shared, and a little recap on that, what we heard from Jordan is almost the same with everyone having that kind of low water. Uh, Low water scarcity, or say water scarcity. We also have limited fresh water, same going down to the experience of Germany, having that 74% of your surface water are already polluted. And then most of you said about ocean pollution, the warming oceans, like that of the case of San Diego, California. We also have the peatlands in Scotland, and of course the very line that I liked from our child from England, when she said about the toxic microscopic particles that we need to look into, because these are but realities that we're facing right now. And the what you see on screen, the damage that these plastics are doing to our lives. No? So once again, these are the problems. And wherever in the world we see these problems, and we have almost similar things to hurdle every day. But what do you see as solutions to this? As a young individual, definitely you have that idea in mind as of now. What to do in your little efforts. No? Because as we say, small efforts can bring us to bigger efforts. And as young as you are right now, if you know what to do, maybe when you reach our age, you will be able to see a difference. So maybe we can start once again from our different kind of a situation in Scotland for the peatlands. Now, maybe what can you say about the experience in Glasgow? Hannah Mariam, maybe you can start off this conversation to give us some solutions, or what do you see as a solution to the peatlands of Scotland? Hannah?
So Scotland's doing a few things to fix this issue. One of them is peatland action. So the Scottish Government funds a programme called Peatland Action, which pays for peatlands to be restored. Peatland action usually blocks drainage ditches so the land can become wet again, and this allows the peat to recover. Climate targets. Scotland has set a very strong climate target to reach net zero emissions by 2045. And this means that Scotland is aiming to remove as much greenhouse gas as they produce. And monitoring and research. Scotland has organisations like Nature Scot who track peatland conditions and help determine which areas restoration is needed most. Also, my school is doing stuff to help as well. So, my school has a peat-free policy, and this means that my school has a peat-free gardening policy across the whole campus, and this means that the compost and soil used in plant pots, the gardens, and any school projects have to be peat-free. And the Eco Committee at our school monitors the school purchases to make sure that peat-based products aren't being bought and used. Our school's wider sustainability action plan includes making sure that our school is doing everything it can to be eco-friendly. This is part of maintaining its Eco Schools Green Flag status. Additionally, students learn how peat extraction contributes to environmental damage, which educates them on how they can help protect the peatscapes. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for that. This is interesting. Now, having a school, just like of Glasgow Academy, to let the students realize eco school, or the importance of helping or giving projects and planning for our peatlands. So that's an interesting realization. And hopefully, as young as you are, helping in your Glasgow Academy, and at the same time, maybe in the future, you can help in further forwarding these eco schools. So thank you for that wonderful presentation from Glasgow, coming from Hannah Mariam Razak. And so this time, let's go back to our uh, child from Jordan, for giving us that idea a while ago of how difficult, no, is the scarcity of water in your place, the energy costs, and the desertification that you see, Hala. So maybe Hala can give us more about it, and at the same time, your thoughtful solutions that you can give for these problems that you have mentioned. Now, Hala, take it away.
Despite these environmental challenges, Jordan has taken several important steps to address them. The government is working in improving water management by reducing water loss, maintaining infrastructure, and expanding the use of treated wastewater for agriculture. In addition, Jordan is developing large-scale projects such as desalination increase water supply. In the energy sector, Jordan has made significant progress by investing in renewable energy, especially solar and wind power, which helps reduce dependence on important energy and support sustainability. Jordan is also working in reducing desertification through tree planting campaigns, protecting agricultural lands, and encouraging um, sustainable environmental practices. Society also plays an important role by promoting awareness and encouraging people to use water and energy more efficiently in their daily lives. Schools are also part of the solutions. In our school, we take part in environmental awareness activities such as learning about recycling, attending sessions from environmental specialists, and participating in cleaning campaigns around the school. These activities help students develop responsible habits and understand the importance of protecting the environment from a young age. In conclusion, although Jordan faces serious environmental challenges, there is still hope for a better and more sustainable future. Because protecting the environment today means protecting our future tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. And yes, definitely our very young Hala from Jordan has actually opened our eyes in looking at this, no, these things in our communities. And I'm thankful that your government is helping you with those things that you have realized and just presented. But hopefully, you as a young child can also help, no, in the environmental awareness, maybe for your friends and the people around you, to give us to give you that kind of awareness that you needed for this time to understand how tree planting can really help on the desertification problems that you have there. So thank you for that, our very young Hala from Jordan. All right, and then let's listen to the ideas this time of Lena from La Jolla, San Diego. You have mentioned the problems of ocean pollution and then the warming oceans. What has been done by your community and yourself as a youth panel member, and at the same time a young student from your school in Al Kashila High School? Are there things, I'm sorry, from La Jolla High School? And is there something that you usually do in La Jolla as a youth member to help the environment? Take it away.
Yeah, so I mentioned several issues before, but there's also a lot of hope. And me personally, I live very close to the Scripps Institute of Oceanography, so we get a lot of their data and research. So local San Diegans and young people are speaking up because we understand that protecting the earth is not optional; it's necessary. Environmental activism is about using our voices, our actions, and our choices to protect the planet and demand change. We can all help in simple ways like reduce plastic waste, conserve water, participate in beach cleanups and community environmental projects, support renewable energy like solar and wind power, and also educate others and encourage leaders and governments to take stronger action for sustainability. Every small actions matter when millions of people work together. As a young person, I believe we still have time to make a difference. The research from the Scripps Institute of Oceanography reminds us that science gives us knowledge, but action gives us change. We have cleaning clubs that get us together to clean the beaches at my school. Furthermore, I am also a competitive swimmer, and once a year I do open water swimming in La Jolla Shores Beach to raise awareness about ocean preservation. One of the things I respect at our local beach, any kind of fireworks are forbidden as it disturbs the marine life, especially the sea lions. So during 4th of July, we get a beautiful drone work and no fireworks. So today I ask all of you, do not stay silent, protect our oceans, protect our community, and protect our future. Because the earth does not belong to only us, it belongs to the generations that come after us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, it belongs to the next generation. It might be your children and your children's children. And yes, the environmental activism that you need to enhance in your community would definitely be a very good solution to this. Now, so thank you, Lila. And I know that you are a creative writer, and maybe you can use your environmental activism in that, because definitely there are so many ways to save our environment if we all act one at the same time. All right, so thank you very much for that. And now we will have Labiba Rahman from England to share with us also her solutions when she said something about toxic microscopic particles and also air pollution and plastic pollution in England. What you can see as a problem will definitely be an opportunity, as you said, to see some of the solutions that you can offer as a young child. So let's hear from you, our very young Labiba Rahman.
Okay, so I'm not here to deliver a sad but very true speech. I'm here to make a difference. Ending world pollution isn't just about picking up rubbish, it's about choosing the kind of world we want to grow up in. Cleaner, safer, fairer, and full of opportunity. And this can only happen if we make it happen. Ending plastic pollution is not an impossible dream, it's a series of everybody working together. We must hold producers financially accountable for the life cycle of their plastic products. I think companies that manufacture plastic must pay for the collection and recycling of their waste. When polluting becomes more expensive than innovating, industries will be forced to rapidly shift towards sustainable swaps. I personally also think all of us, not just as a town, but as a country, must transition from a culture of disposal to a culture of reuse. Refill systems in supermarkets across the UK, allowing citizens to bring their own containers for their own uses. Normalize replacing plastic packaging. Instead of using oil to make plastic, companies can make packaging out of seaweed and leftover farm scraps, as many items labeled as biodegradable and eco-friendly don't actually break down in your garden compost bin. By doing this, we can eliminate unnecessary materials like cling film, leaving zero toxic waste behind. Plastic pollution is important, but so is air pollution, an invisible crisis that is currently affecting every town this country has to offer. Firstly, we must revolutionize how we travel. Exhaust fumes from petrol and diesel vehicles are the primary source of toxic air in our area. Our Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, must rapidly invest and expand affordable, reliable, and zero emissions public transportation networks. Encouraging people to walk and get into cycling can also have an impact too. Whilst not emitting any CO2, you are also getting some exercise in. Second, we must stop relying on fossil fuels, as they pump millions of tons of harmful gas into our atmosphere. We need to also invest and scale up in renewable energy sources like wind, solar, and tidal power. Thirdly, nature is our biggest shield and friend. We, the UK, need to launch massive urban greening projects, planting thousands of trees along roadsides, creating forests. Trees are our natural air filters, trapping microscopic gases and producing clean air, making all of us immediately safer. The choice I talk about again is simple. We can either continue to live as we do, where breathing becomes more and more of a hazard, where our greenery gets replaced by fields of plastic waste, where our young people pay the price. Or we can all work together as a town, then a city, then a country, to build a cleaner, safer, and most importantly, greener future. When young people are given the chance to protect their environment, they aren't just cleaning streets, they're building confidence, connection, and hope. Three big factors that will move us forward as a society. Together, we must change. There is no planet B. It's now or never. Once again, thank you for listening to me.
Thank you very much. And yes, there is no planet B for all of us. There is no other way we would be moving to another Earth. And so, yes, thank you very much. As young as you are, Labiba, you were able to open the eyes of a lot of people. And I am reading right now Ross Edmondson's comment in saying that you have all of you have wonderful sharings, your brilliant ideas, and they will be checking also their environments for this. Thank you for that, Rose. And also, Barbara Drasny is saying such good speakers, and Wakar Bati, who said that, mashallah, all great girl presenters, mashallah. And also, yeah, I just realized that we have all girls. In the very interesting panel here, and our very last panel member will be sharing with us her own solutions as well in Germany. Iqlal was able to present to us the problems that they see in Germany, but like all others in this panel, they wanted to share also how they can see the solutions ahead of them. So, Iqlal, maybe you would like to share with us what you have there in mind for Germany.
Yes, so there are many things that the government has to change. One of them being decreasing pesticide application, because it's not just ruining our food, but it's also polluting our groundwaters. Also, the leakage of harmful substances in, for example, factories has to be prevented. We have to use rainwater to be independent from or polluted groundwater, and also from other countries. For air pollution, to prevent air pollution, public transport has to be further developed and of course used. And we need more regulations in the industry, because there are also many leakages, and they're polluting not just the air but also our waters with chemicals and so on. And what can we do? We as a person, we can use our water more economical, so not waste it. We can also use less plastic, not just less plastic bottles or plastic bags, but also less plastic clothes, because all of our clothes are made of plastic now. So yes, we can buy clothes that are not made of synthetics. We can also use more public transport and save energy. For example, don't leave the lights on, or I know, be more resourceful with water. And all in all, we have to consume more mindfully. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. The idea of spending mindfully, no, is really very Muslim in concept. Our culture as Muslims all over the globe will definitely be sharing the same thoughts on all of these, no? And I'm very thankful that I am hosting you. I am helping one another to see the solutions and the problems all at the same time, because one of the reasons why I'm very thankful is that our the Islamic culture, the ones that we are sharing together, it teaches us to have that kind of different take on everything that we see. Just like what you've just said, that we can make use of. We have to spend properly for all the things that we see. If we don't need more clothes, then why buy more? And why do you have to make use of fresh water if it is just for cleaning and so on? Very wonderful information that you were able to share. And in fact, before I will make my conclusions later, I will be very glad to hear feedback from our friends, from our guest expert. While checking on our guest expert, I would like to thank our viewers who said something about the beautiful, interesting panel. Uh, we have here Luhieta Halimi, who said, "What a beautiful, interesting panel." And Barbara said this should be a program on national TV and radio. I agree with you. This has to be not just here on Facebook Live, but also on the national TV and radio. And yes, from Jakarta, we have Iwan. And yes, no, this is something that we need to look into as a people and as very interested individuals in the whole world. We wanted to see how these things are changing our lives. And so, since our chief guest is not here with us, maybe they had a technical issue. And so, may I summarize and give my own feedbacks on all of the things that you were able to say, such that of Jordan for seeing low water and or the scarcity of water, the limited fresh water, the energy costs that we all are having problems with all over the world right now, and the desertification that you have actually mentioned that is happening there. But again, the environmental awareness that you are helping or you are contributing to your school will definitely make a change. And to our panel member from California, from the United States, you have offered that solution of environmental activism, because we all know that if we don't actively perform and share our thoughts every day and remind our government and as well as our people and educate them of how environment is so important, then there is no way we could help our future. And so from the Scoutland panel member who said that there has to be more school eco projects like what they have there at Glasgow Academy, and also from England. I like the idea when you said culture, we change our culture of disposal to culture of reuse. One of the things that I liked about when I was in the UK is when you have to buy the bag, the plastic bag, if you wanted to, if you did not bring with you your grocery bag. So, yeah, I learned to buy when I studied there. I learned to buy my own trolley and make use of it as of course, from when I buy my groceries and all. So those are some of the disciplines that we need to teach all over the world. No, why don't we just recycle and reuse whatever we have there? And finally, from our uh, panel member from Germany, she said that we can reuse more water and we can also reduce water pollution by being actively looking at how we can reduce our use of so many things. Why don't we just reuse or be conscious of our consumerism and our consciousness over things that we wanted to buy or use in the future. So, once again, I am so honored to be part of MACFEST and every year for the youth panel, because this is my way of getting to know more youths all over the world. And I am thankfully grateful to MACFEST for giving this as an avenue for our youth to share what they see as an environmental problem and eventually give and offer their solutions. Because, yes, as what Barbara once again said here, reuse and not refuse. Because it's the best conclusion that we have here. Thank you, Barbara, because there is no point of refusing today. Why? Because we want to save the only earth that we have in this lifetime. So thank you very much once again to all of our panel members. Maybe we can have that virtual claps for everyone who are here with us today, and to all of those who are with us at the live Facebook feed right now. So thank you very much for all of the things that you have shared today. There is no other way we can do a fantastic sharing without everyone in here and everybody from the different parts of the world. So, with that, we would be closing this session. And thank you once again for everyone in this amazing youth panel for the environment. Once again, this is your host, or Haila Latif Yusuf from Mindanao, Philippines. Good evening, everyone, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much, Sohaila. Here are the claps. Well done, everyone. What a wonderful presentations, honestly. And our chief guest for today, Julia, is sending her apologies. It was indeed a technical issue. We just couldn't overcome that. However, before we finish, we would like to mention, you probably have heard about that, but it is the youth, the 3 young students that might have just found the solution to bind the microplastics and remove them from water through using tamarind powder. It's all over the internet. There is you can Google it. I did. I was curious to know, how is it possible that you use the magnet and the tamarind powder? How does it bind to the microplastics, and then to the magnet? There is a process. So it's all over the internet. It's available to everybody. And these 3 students have won the prize in the it's the Earth Prize 2026 in the Asia region. So well done, not just to our students here, but to all youth who's really interested in saving our planet. Well done, everybody. Before we finish today, I just wanted to remind everybody, those of you who are in the UK, we've got an amazing event coming up on Saturday, 13th of June, celebrating Eid at the Lowry. And the next Zoom event we've got here is on Sunday, 14th of June. And it's the event about poems on the history of tea. So thank you again, and hopefully see you on another event.
Assalamu alaikum.
Well done, everybody. That was fantastic. Mashallah. Well done.
Thank you.
Leave webinar.